thank you everybody for joining us today here in studio, me and Miss Abby St. John, for this week's entertainment panel, and we got a good one.
Yes, we do.
Yeah, we got some good trailers that are here that we really want to help get the word out on, but doesn't really need much word because they're very popular,
yes.
I'd say. A lot of people online talking about these. And starting off, we have Dune Part 2 trailer, and I think a lot of people are excited for it. We have not seen these, the first movie, so for information on that, like, we're still going to be able to talk about, you know, of course, with the second trailer and whatnot, but, you know, I think I definitely am going to make sure to have to get out there and watch that first one.
Yes.
So I think it's going to be good, but, you know, let's take a look at the trailer and see how Part 2 looks, because it definitely is talked about.
It's breathtaking. When you see sand here, imagine water. If you dive in, you can't reach the bottom.
You dive in.
Yes, it's called swimming.
I don't believe you.
In the shadows of Arrakis lie many secrets.
Yeah, like you said, neither of us have seen the first one, so we can't really talk too much about plot. It does seem like this is a continuation, how the first one ended. It's continuing off. Someone told me who had actually watched the first one that the first one was just setting up for this next one. So it seems like there's going to be a war between kingdoms, and so expect a lot of action scenes and fight scenes in the sand, and who knows what else is in store for this movie. But it does look really, really good, on par with the first one as well. The first one having an 83% certified fresh rating on Rotten Tomatoes and a 90% audience rating. I have no doubt that this movie is going to either be better or around the same. Denis Villeneuve, who is the director of the movie, he does an incredible job with visual effects and just making it look really, really pretty, despite it being in the desert with just sand. He does a really good job with the lighting and, you know, just the feel of the movie, I think.
Yeah.
But yeah, another stacked cast. Timothée Chalamet, of course, Rebecca Ferguson, Josh Brolin, Austin Butler, Florence Pugh, Dave Bautista, Christopher Walken, Stellan Skarsgård, Javier Bardem. There is a ton of stars in this movie, and it worked out really well for them the first go around. I think it's fantastic that they're able to have such a big stacked cast and it being a, you know, worldwide success, you know?
I agree. And, you know, the cinematography, I think what a lot of people, of course, are talking about when it comes to Dune. You know, the first one, beautiful, beautiful. It kind of gives like almost like a Star Wars vibe that I think a lot of people like to compare it to. Who knows? But hopefully they'll get some more and it'll be really good.
Yes.
Yeah. But it seems like it's got great cinematography. And, you know, speaking of cinematography, we got another trailer that came out. Woo! I think everybody's really excited on this one. We got the prequel for The Hunger Games, The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes. And if we want to talk about, talked about trailers, I think this one had the most hype online. So let's take a look.
I am honored to introduce to you the creator of The Hunger Games themselves, Dean Casca Highbottom.
I have summoned you all here for the 10th annual reaping ceremony.
Yes, this I think is very nostalgic for Hunger Games fans, me being one of them. I read all 3 books when I was in junior high, and that was a very long time ago. So I love it, and it's bringing out those core fans, and then obviously fans who have watched the movies over the last few years because they've been on Netflix. I think it's garnered a whole new fan base, and there's a ton of people talking about different theories and what have you on this trailer, because we finally got a first full trailer that we actually could understand what this movie will be about. So it's following the 10th Hunger Games, which has been erased from history because of how brutal, extremely brutal it was. And so we get introduced to some of the things that we see in the actual Hunger Games. This is the first year that mentors are being used. They're not from the districts, they're not the previous victors, but they're Capital Academy students. And this is where Snow comes in. He's a student in the academy, and he's working on becoming a soldier. And so he's the mentor for District 12, for Lucy Gray Baird, which is rumored to be a relative of Katniss, but that's also just a theory.
Yeah, lots of theories. That's what I love.
Yeah,
lots of theories.
So this is also showing that we find out where the idea for the Hunger Games comes from, and it comes from Peter Dinklage's character. If you're Game of Thrones fans, you will know who he is, Tyrion. He plays Casca Highbottom, and his class was asked of different ideas for punishments for the districts, and he came up with this idea. And it's also, it seems like he kind of regrets it. So that's interesting. Viola Davis is in it, and she plays a mad scientist, basically. So she comes up with all the torture techniques, and she's the one who asks the class their ideas on what they should do to punish the districts for the uprising. So that's going to be really interesting to see. Tigress Snow is in it, and if you've seen part 2 of Mockingjay, she shows up, and she is related to President Snow.
Yep.
Not a super stacked cast, but they do have some notable names, like Peter Dinklage and Viola Davis, Rachel Ziegler, Hunter Schafer. For all you Euphoria fans out there, you'll know who she is. And then Jason Schwartzman, who plays Lucky Flickerman, and then Tom Blythe, who plays Snow. So it's going to be a really good movie, I think. I'm very excited for it. It comes out November 17th, so we still got a long ways to go, but
it seems like we got a lot of time, so make sure for everybody out there, catch up when you can, because it's coming up soon and it's going to be a good one.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, but that's all the time we have for this week's entertainment panel. So thank you everybody for joining us today, and have a great weekend.